So you guys have a lot of attention. It's good.
Kane running the first-team offense. Do you anticipate those guys sharing snaps behind center going forward? Or?
Yeah, I absolutely. I thought a year ago, from the way that Nick and our offensive staff were able to put together a plan to use both those Kane and Trevor's skill set. I thought gave us a chance to win a championship. We just got to keep honing that package and making it better. But both those guys can help us win.
What do you want to see from both of them in terms of their evolution as football players going into this season?
Well, I think the biggest aspect is just the leadership component. They do a terrific job already, but helping us take that next step. And I'm not trying to minimize getting to 10 wins, but getting to number 11 is a lot harder than getting to 10. And that's kind of our focus around here is what we've done in the past and how we're going to take the next step. And a big part of that's that leadership comes from the quarterback position. And both those guys, I believe, are poised and ready to take that next step.
Last year you talked a lot about team bonding, and you talked about the defense, getting back to the basics. What are some major things you're going to do with this spring?
A lot of similarities to last year, Teddy, that we have right now. From the standpoint that it's basically like taking apart a puzzle, right? And when we put the puzzle back together on the board and we talk about it as coaches, we got some missing pieces because of graduation. So you got to take the whole puzzle back together. You got to figure out where those pieces are, and that's spring practice. That's where we're at right now. And so that's the biggest macro goal. What are the new pieces? What do they look like? What are their strengths? How can we then put together a plan for the back half of spring? And then probably most importantly for fall camp on what the guys do well and play to their strengths. So we got a lot of pieces back, which is encouraging. More pieces coming back now than we've ever had with experience. But we'll have to identify those new pieces and get them figured out.
Coach, you have a lot of guys missing this spring for injury and stuff, so how are you kind of adjusting?
Yeah, this is really no different than any other spring. We usually have quite a few guys from postseason this or postseason that are out. All of our guys will come back and be probably somewhere close to being full go by the end of spring practice. Meaning, will they practice? No. But they'll be pretty darn close to being cleared completely medically. So when we go into the next phase, which is preparation for our summer, those guys will be full go. And that's part of the reason why we moved spring ball up. We knew that group was going to be out for spring, but now on the back end, they'll be full go, ready to go, and be able to create that chemistry, be able to be out there with the guys instead of spending more time now when they're actually removed during rehab and things of that nature. So a little tweak based on that.
Did they lose anything?
Well, I think you always lose things not being able to play. The NCAA has legislated so much. This is our first day with the football. I think like our basketball coaches get to practice like 8 hours in the summer and play to the winter. So, yeah, there's always that little element. We have a very specific plan to keep those guys engaged, to keep them into it. A lot of them have a wealth of experience already. And through that, I think that, they'll be a little bit further along, Teddy, maybe than people would think coming into fall camp, but they'll be rusty. And they got to get over that rust earlier in camp. So once they get cleared, it's going to be on them this summer to do more. To do more, and they will. I mean, I'm not concerned about that at all.
Fitz, now you got two quarterbacks, but is there a battle to take between those two guys to take the first snap in California?
Yeah, there's a battle to help us win. That's it. That's it. We're going to figure out what they do best, and I believe both those guys can race to a championship. So that's our focus. But no, I think that both guys can help us win. And if we started Kane today and Trevor tomorrow, you guys would write up about it and make way too big a deal. So we're fully aware of that. And both those guys can win. Both those guys are starting quarterbacks in this league. Any team in our league would take as a starting quarterback. And it's a great job by Nick and our offensive staff. It's very talented.